Today on Breakfast, Lunch, and Dinner Cooking, I'm going to show you how to make Heath bars. And here we go. Okay, we're going to start out. I've got 1 cup of softened butter. And I'm going to have 1 cup of brown sugar. You always want to pack it. And 1 egg. There he is. These are so easy and they are so good. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I am going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to cream those together. Nothing to this recipe, you guys. All you do is make this crust and you bake it for 20 to 25 minutes. You sprinkle chocolate chips on it and then you let them melt and then spread it and then your toffee. And that's it. Easy peasy. Just want to cream this together. I always, if I don't have time to set my oven's preheated to 350, if I don't have time to set out my butter, I usually microwave it for 30 seconds. So now I'm going to add 1.5 cups of flour. And I'm using unbleached. I never buy bleached flour. And then I'm going to mix that up. Nothing to it. Just kind of smash it in. Like so. I bet you this whole thing doesn't take 5 minutes. Anybody can do this. And always with a wooden spoon. You want a good firm spoon. Okay. Now, I'm going to spread this in the bottom of my 9x13 baking cake pan. Let me get my little rubber spatula here. Get all those goodies out of the bowl. Just like so. And then you just want to spread it in your pan. I'm going to wet this a little bit. If you wet your spatula, it seems to help it spread easier. Wet it again. I don't know how I discovered that, but I did. I discovered that it was easier to wet it and it helps it to spread. Just make sure you've got it even all over the pan here. I'm used to patting down like a shortbread, but this is more like a cake. So I'm gonna wet my hands a little bit, see if I can do it. There we go. That's a little easier. Kind of hold on to your parchment paper. What's nice about parchment paper when you're doing baking is that after they cool, you can pull them out and cut them easier instead of fighting the pan, especially when you make homemade fudge and everything. And I think next Christmas season, God willing, I'm still here, I am gonna make a candy series, Christmas candy series for you guys. Right, this is my 10th video on my Christmas cookie series. So, okay, now I'm gonna bake that for 20 to 25 minutes on 350, and I'll be back. It just came out of the oven. I thought I was filming, but I wasn't. I've got these semi-sweet chocolate chips, and I sprinkled them on just now because it's still hot out of the oven. And I'm gonna let these get clear, kind of like shiny. It takes about maybe 5 minutes, and I'll be back. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. That's exactly how much time I had it going. And then what you wanna do, you know what? I'm actually gonna try to get these out of the pan real quick, so it's easier to smooth it on. Hope I don't bust it all up doing that. But anyway, that way it's going to be easier to smear this across. See how easy that is? And what you usually do is on the end pieces, if they don't look pretty, you just don't use them. Yeah, taking it out of the pan. And since I waited the 5 minutes, I think it had set enough that it'd be okay. Okay, easy peasy. Now what I'm gonna do, while that's good and hot, you take the Heath bar, you take these Heath bar toffee bits and you just sprinkle them on. And that's when you get that nice Heath bar taste. And they said to use a half a cup, but I think I'm gonna maybe use the whole thing. Because, oh my gosh, who doesn't love Heath bars? And you know, the Heath company is so smart to sell these little toffee bits because it's probably what comes off the cutting machine, you know? I mean, I don't know that for sure, but yeah, I'm using the whole thing. What the heck? Yum. Yum. Okay, I'm gonna let this set up a little bit for probably, I don't know, half hour, and then we'll cut it and plate it. Okay, I wanted to tell you, I did refrigerate this for like 2 hours to get it to be good enough to cut. So you guys, and I think once it gets hard, I don't think you're gonna have to worry about it after that, but I just wanted to make sure it wasn't gonna be a big mess, you know? Okay, how do I wanna do this? Okay, and see how the edge is kinda not so pretty? I'm gonna cut that edge off. And that's gonna be the yummies to eat later. Okay. Yes, I'll cut them like this. They're gonna be probably pretty rich, so I'm not gonna cut them real big. The bottom sounds crunchy. Okay. And then I'll just cut these into half and then half again. And look at these beautiful Heath bars. Oh my goodness. They look wonderful. This is a big batch. I've been trying to cut my recipes in half, but how do you cut in half one egg? And I knew these were going to be super yummy, so I decided to go ahead and do the whole batch. And that's only half of them. And look at what a beautiful, beautiful platter I've got there. And that concludes my Heath bar recipe. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, there's nothing you can't do if you put your mind to it. Lost my trick of mine. And love the Lord with all your heart. Until we meet again.